Jazz hands. Good evening, friends. Welcome, everybody, to another Monday evening. Welcome to Thomas, who is back to visit again. How are you doing, Thomas?
I'm doing well, Kelly. Thanks for having me back.
Well, I must say, I owe you a major apology, and I appreciate your understanding because I canceled and changed and canceled and changed. And, anyways, we're here to talk about it. And so I thank you for your patience and your understanding.
Well, life occurs, and if your baby's hurt, you gotta take care of baby.
Right? Sorry, Charlotte. I just turned the fan on and scared the crap out of Charlotte. Sorry about that. Yeah, Rosie wasn't well, and then now Mark isn't well. And anyways, we're here to talk about it, and that's we've survived it, and that's the whole point. I'm hot all of a sudden. Woohoo! Spirit is here. Spirit has arrived. I just I was fine 5 minutes ago, right? I wasn't hot, and all of a sudden I just whoosh. And no, it's not a hot flash for anyone who's thinking that. Stop it. I'm over that. No. So, what we were going to do originally is not what we're going to do now. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to chat. We're going to toss some cards. So if you have a question, throw it on up there in the chat. All of a sudden, I feel compelled to do some political readings, which is really weird because I do those personally on, behind the scenes.
I'm not opposed.
A couple of nights in a row, I've had total insomnia because I'm so stressed out about the situation, which doesn't even affect me because I don't live in the U.S., which is very random. But anyways, I've been tossing cards and I recorded a couple. But yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Very strange. Do you ever do that? Do you ever stumble upon a topic and go oh my God, I have to throw cards on this? And it seems out of the ordinary for you. Do you ever do that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not just...
I can't read for myself personally because I can't take myself totally out of the situation,
Oh, you can't? No?
No, I'm not. I'm biased about myself in a whole lot of things.
No shade. I've said for a long time that I don't read for myself because of that reason. I've told this story 100 times at least, but for whatever reason, I was standing in the kitchen. This is months and months and months ago, maybe 6 months ago. I was standing in the kitchen and I was making my tea, and I was you know what I should do? I should do a reading for myself. And I don't know where that came from because that is not my normal course of action. And I came back here and I tossed some cards and I got don't quote me, but let's just say I got, the Tower card and the Devil card. And I was ew, what's that? And I was well, that can't be right. So I got another deck and then shuffle and I'm not asking anything. I'm just tossing cards, right? And I got the Tower card and the Ten of Swords. And I was what is going on? So grab another deck, shuffle them, and I put, and I'm getting all freaked out. I'm getting all freaked out. And then I literally said the same thing that I say in my daily readings all the time. Don't laugh at me when I tell you this, but I said, if it resonates, claim it. If it doesn't, leave it behind. And I'm
leave it out. Yeah.
What? I'm leaving this behind. This isn't for me. I'm picking up on someone else's energy. And I got up and I walked away. And later on that day, I literally said out loud, and that is why Kelly doesn't read for herself, because I will read into it. I will take myself down that whole path of oh my God, and then I won't leave the house. You know what I mean? All kinds of things will go on. I don't need to bring that kind of anxiety towards myself. I have enough. So I try to not read for myself. Now, oracle cards, 100%. Those that I can do. If I have a specific question for myself, yes, I can do a reading for myself. But if it's just what's going on, what's coming up next week, I can't do that. No.
Well, the card of the day reads that I do uh, often are for me, or it turns out to be the events of that day,
Yeah.
fall into alignment.
Yeah, absolutely. Ivana says it's harder for me to read for myself, but I still pull cards now and then. Yeah. I mean, listen, one of the perks of being a tarot reader here on YouTube is that, you got friends. You know what I mean? Like you could like reach out to a few people and say,
Yeah.
do you mind? Let's say hi to some folks that have popped in and are here to have some fun with us and enjoy. We're here to enjoy each other's company. Hershey is in the house. Hello, Hershey.
Hi, Hershey.
And Ivana is here, as we just put up on the screen. Ivana. And Jessica Lynn is here. Hello, Jessica Lynn. Thanks for being here. Sylvia Hanks is in the house. Lovely. There are some people lurking around. My numbers are jumping all over the place. So people are tuning in and leaving and tuning in and leaving, or they're dual streaming. We're not sure. It's a thing. Hi, Pierrette. How are you doing after your bad weather? I hope that you're okay. So Pierrette, for those of you that don't know, was right in the line of fire for that hurricane that just went through.
Nova Scotia way.
Yeah, Pierrette lives in New Brunswick, so it was on a path, and it's odd because normally a hurricane doesn't hit all of those provinces, and it literally hit every single one of them as it was going through. It went Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI, and Newfoundland. It kind of went straight through all of them, which was unfortunate. Oh, good stuff. She says, all good here. Thanks. We're happy to hear that. All right. So anybody have any questions? Pop them in the chat. We're here for it. We don't really do medical, so don't be asking us about that. Other than that, I think we're open, right?
Yeah, even your political, if you so decide.
Have you guys, I mean, I don't normally talk about politics, but have you guys seen the video with Lauren Boebert? I mean, come on, you guys. What in the heck is happening?
Teenagers at the theater.
I mean, no, here's the thing. You go to a family show. Like it's a family show. It wasn't an adult show. It's Beetlejuice, for gosh sakes, right? And you're sitting in front of a pregnant woman and you're vaping your brains out, and then you turn around and say, "No, you're not doing it." Like, you know what I mean?
Pooja.
Hi, MJ420. Hi, Pooja. I got you, Ivana. So I just am like, whatever. Whatevs. I don't get it at all. But that's why that's why I do this and they do that, because I don't get it. Right? I don't get it at all. Ivana wants some cards. I'll let you guys take a moment and think about a question if you have it. Mark, my husband, did a whole bunch of work on the side of our house yesterday, or on the weekend, Saturday. We have an apple tree that is sort of like half on our side and half on the neighbor's side. And it doesn't get any sun there because of the other trees that are around the property. And of course, now that the apples are sort of coming out, whatever, the friggin' thing is dropping apples on the roof like crazy. And we have a steel roof, so it's loud. So you'll be sitting here like 3 o'clock in the morning, sleeping, snoozing away, and all of a sudden it's like bang. Honestly, it sounds like a bulldozer was dropped on your house, like a little apple. Like the apples are this big. Boom, right? It's like, oh my God, what is that? Anyway, So Mark went out there and trimmed some of that off so that when it falls, it doesn't fall on the roof and scare the bejeebers. Because then, of course, all the animals are up. It's a whole situation then, right? It's not just an apple falling on the roof. It's all the stuff that happens after that, right? The dog is barking, the cats are meowing, they're chasing, they're hiding, they're running back and forth trying to figure out what it was, who did it, whatever. Anyway, so the point that I was trying to make is we got a good night's sleep because we didn't hear any apples dropping on the roof in the last 2 days.
No midnight thumpings.
No bumps in the night. It was lovely. Yes, they do last for a long time. They do. Ivana says, yeah, those metal roofs can be loud, but I hear that they last a long time. Yep, they do. I mean, once you have gone through a situation where you've had to replace a shingle roof either because of a storm or just, age. I got you, MJ. We just, it's just not worth it. Do you know what I mean? Look at the questions coming in. Gotta love it. Jan's Free's in the house. Hello, Jan's Free. I didn't say hello already. I'm sorry. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? Let's go with Miss Ivana, who says she would love a card or a few cards for October. She feels pretty good about it.
Okay.
Well, that's
so,
good.
Ivana, we're going to start out with the 9-1. So you're defending and protecting. You got up your defenses behind you, and seems like you're a little battle weary from the summer. All that heat has got us wanting cooler weather. And once you got your battle lines drawn, then you got your Knight of Swords that drops out. And remember, when you've got the Knight of Swords, you want to bite your tongue because you can be a little rash and a little grating on other personalities. So don't make your presence be known, but go in there, go swoop in and take care of business. But I think everything's going to be okay in the end because we have our Queen of Cups at the end. And of course, Ivana, you've got your emotions under control, even though that night ran in brashly. And so you keep your lid on your emotions, and you give out love accordingly to your constituents and to your family. But you fiercely protect those that you love at all times, as any mama lion would.
Right? I'm almost ready. I've got Jan's Free. I've got Pooja. I've got Pierrette. I'm just letting you guys know what I've got here. Starred. MJ. All right. Bear with me, Ivana. I'm almost ready. Ivana's read with me enough time. She knows what I'm like. I'm slow. Okay. So we start out with the Five of Pentacles. So, whoops. Hello. Where's the camera? Well, that was weird. I've never done that before. I was like over here somewhere. Five of Pentacles, looking for support. Coming in from the past. So whatever you were searching for, I think that you have found it. I think that you have become more comfortable, I feel. I don't know. We've got the World card showing up here. So I don't feel like it's like a cycle completion. I feel it's more like an understanding completion. Do you know what I mean? Like you've come to whatever you were searching for, you found, and now you've moved past that, right? Got the Knight of Wands in your challenge position. It's important to have the balance, friends. It's also important to be true to yourself. So, the Knight of Wands is about, going to the beat of your own drum, letting your hair down, having a little fun every once in a while. It's totally okay. There's a little bit of creativity there. So if creativity is not your go-to, maybe explore something on that side, right? And it could be as something as far as journaling, right? Maybe start to journal and really turn it into like a creative story, as it were. You got the Ten of Cups on the bottom here, or not on the bottom, sorry, as your outcome. The Happy Family card, which is lovely joy and blessings. On the bottom of the deck, you've got the Queen of Swords. So you're being very logical right now. You're being very analytical, being very strategic, and that's wonderful. But maybe that's why this has come out, right? Don't forget that there's like that balance that has to happen. I pulled 2 oracle cards. We've got well-being. So again, bringing that balance to your life. Make sure that you pay attention to that. We have Archangel Garcia. I'm totally mispronouncing that. Already know that. But the message here says, create a solid spiritual foundation, be in service to the planet. And there is the card. It's beautiful. So, creating a solid spiritual foundation. I'm vibing that it's more like, not that you don't have a solid foundation, but more that you just trust in the process, right? Like, yes, you are in charge of your the work that you do and the path that you're on, right? In terms of the progress that you make, but there is that point where we have to leave it up to the universe, right? And I feel like you might be at that point where it's just like, I've never done everything that I can do, so the rest is up to the universe. It feels like that to me. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that resonates. And thank you for being here and asking the question. And now we will move to MJ 420. I got you, Ellen. Thank you. Okay. MJ 420 says, is Lacey happy she came to me? This feels like a challenge. No.
Is Lacey a person or an animal?
You know what? Let's just throw some cards and let's just see what we get.
Well, I've known some people to be like animals, but
yeah. Ivana says both readings make very much sense to me. Thanks. You're very welcome. Thank you for the feedback. We appreciate it. All right, MJ 420. Is Lacey happy she came to me? It's a dog.
Okay. Well, it looks like Lacey might not have had a good life before coming to you, MJ 420. The Ten of Swords. So maybe there were just so many puppies that she was maybe abandoned out of the litter, or maybe she was mistreated by the litter mates for being the runt. That before she was a little confused with the Seven of Cups before she came to you and didn't know what was going on. But once she found you, she went to the Eight of Wands and ran straight for you. So she's declared that you are her human, and I think Lacey is going to be a loyal and true friend for the rest of your lifetimes together.
I concur. MJ, just wondering, because like the cards just kept on flowing here. I'm gonna show them all to you, but just really fast, or try to. Okay, so we start out with the Ace of Swords, energy coming in from the past. We've got the Five of Wands. There was some conflict, and so like I'm picking up like a rescue or like a shelter or like distress that the dog was going through. Uh, just sort of waiting for her moment or his moment, whatever the case may be. Got the Five of Swords. I've got the Four of Cups. I've got the Seven of Wands. So there's all like she went through a bit of a situation, right? It was difficult for her. Then we've got the Queen of Cups, which I believe is you showing up in her life, offering her that unconditional love. We've got the Four of Wands showing up here, the happy home, the family, the bonding, the celebration in terms of like her feeling that she's found her home, if that makes sense. And the last card that I got for the outcome is Temperance, so moderation and control. And I don't know why I feel this is kind of a funny thing for me to say, I'm sure, but I feel like there might have been like a transition period, or maybe still in transition, that she's like, it almost seems too good to be true, so I don't want to fully invest just quite yet, but like, because like she doesn't want it to not be right, or she doesn't want it to not be true. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? Like that Lacey, the dog, feels that, is this lady for real? Is this lady for real? Like, could this really be happening to me? This almost seems too good to be true. So she might be slightly reserved. She's just still trying to figure it all out, right? On the bottom of the deck, I've got the Knight of Wands, which I think is interesting, because you are providing her a place where she can really be herself, and once she understands that she is allowed to just be who she needs to be, it's going to be beautiful. And just I pulled an oracle card. This is from Gods, Goddesses, and Guardians. And we've got I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name, because I will butcher it. But the message, look at that card. It's gorgeous.
Persephone.
There you go. What Thomas said. And we have new beginnings. So this is a moment of total joy for her. So yes, she is happy that she came to. She is sort of being a little reserved at this moment. I got you, Jessica. Okay, and I think we've got enough questions for now, so I'm going to just like put a pause on the list. Thank you, Hershey, for putting that in there. Appreciate that. So thank you, MJ, for asking the question. Appreciate you. And best of luck with Lacey. Pierrette says, what do I have to take care of first before 2024?
Priorities. Well, Pierrette, we start out with our Empress. So you need to start your brainstorming session and figure out creative solutions to your situation. And don't discount what may come to you as a silly thing, because sometimes silly is absolutely what is demanded in the situation. And then we have our Page of Cups. Remember he's the one with fish in his cup, a little surprising. So a little novelty, a little surprising messages in his cup, and he's a water sign, and of course he dips his cup in the water and brings up a fish, and that's just a little amazing. But that's all in alignment with what he's about. But it all comes out in the end because you get your Six of Wands, your victory card. So have that brainstorming session, follow through with novel ideas, don't completely discount them, and you'll come up with a victory. So you'll figure out what to do.
I love that.
But prioritization in my mind is hard as well. I can see there's a million things to do, but what's the most important? I can categorize them, but to say this is the most important and this is the least most important doesn't always make sense.
She says, "Thank you, Thomas."
You're welcome, Pierrette.
Okay, so I pulled 2 oracle cards to start. We've got comfort and we've got ideation. So to me, that's what makes you happy. Now, I just did a reading for you the other day, and I don't remember what the question was, but I feel like that was that same kind of path, right? Like, don't forget to do for you what you need to do, what makes you happy, what speaks to you, what resonates with you. And it came through in the tarot cards as well. We've got the Magician, right? Manifesting your dreams into reality, using the resources that you have at your disposal to make your dreams come true, right? Because you have those resources and you're in that position, the Magician position, it is an opportunity really to empower yourself, right? And to be prepared for whatever may come along. We've got the Wise Counselor or the Hierophant card here next. So we all know that card to be a card of government, but it's also a card of traditions, and it's a card of higher education, and it's also an energy of, like belonging, like, do I fit in, right? Got the 5 of Pentacles coming as your outcome card. And I feel that asking for help is not something that you do very often. And so this card is suggesting that there is a support network out there, and it doesn't mean that you need help. It's not a bad thing. It's just nice to know that people care. Do you know what I mean? It's just nice to know that people are around you that would be willing to support you no matter what it is. Doesn't mean that it has to be a bad thing to happen that you need support, right? Like, the worst thing ever just happened and I need my best friend. It doesn't feel like that at all. It just feels like just people to talk to, like-minded individuals that can, encourage and inspire and support. That's what it feels like. It feels good. Now, on the bottom of the deck, we've got the 3 of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords. Okay. There's heartbreak. There's some sorrow here. Maybe something that you need to forgive. So something that you're working through currently right now. Now, this is one of those cards that this is what it is. It's heartbreak and it's upset, but it is also the opportunity to release that upset, to work through that upset, to figure out, what is the shadow behind it? What's the trigger behind it? What is the, what brought this to light? There's an opportunity with this to work through your feelings. And maybe that is why that support network is needed. What maybe that is why that feeling of where do I fit in and where do I belong comes from. Maybe that is why the magician is asking you to remember that you have resources at your disposal to use to be able to process that. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. I thank you for being here and for asking the question. So to sum that up, release whatever needs to be released and look forward to the future. That's what I want to say to that. All right. Pooja says, can I have some guidance? She did write a line before, and that was angels. Angels. I'm not going to sing the song, friends. I'll leave that up to Robbie Williams. That was supposed to be a joke. Nobody laughed. Well, I said nobody. What I meant was Thomas didn't laugh because I can't see if you guys are laughing in the chat.
So Pooja, we're moving on to calmer waters. Apparently, it's been a little rough and rocky for you. I don't know if you had to endure some storms this summer or not, but just be looking for that calmer water. And why you're getting the calmer water is we've got the Emperor. So he's all about traditions and institutions and systems in our lives. So if you've had any maybe legal issues or any other institutional issues, there's a little more stability and authority on your side coming your way. And then our outcome is our King of Wands. So our King of Wands and our Emperors, they go along together with this tradition thing. So I think you're steeped in a lot of tradition, and it's hard to break with tradition. And I think that you're often conflicted. Do you keep tradition or do you go your own way? Nothing wrong with breaking tradition as long as there's a reason to break it. And then explain why you're not keeping with tradition, because it might not best serve you anymore. When the family's all together, everything's fine. But when you're strewn through the four corners of the earth and having maybe a little culture shock or things like that, you need to break with the old traditions to fit in and be more adaptive to your new situations. So that's what I got for you, Pooja. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Thomas. We start out here with the Queen of Cups. That loving, kind, compassionate sort of energy. Coming in from the past. I feel like this is you, and like I just want to be happy. You know what I mean? I just want things for myself that I feel are right. I don't know, that seems very vague, but I'm going somewhere with that. We have the Sun card next. So by all intents purposes, you feel very comfortable in your life. Now, again, this is the energy coming in from the past, right? You feel very comfortable about where you're at. Life is good. You know that you're blessed and you feel those blessings. We have the High Priestess coming up next. Now, the High Priestess, she's an interesting energy because she can be about your intuition, listening to that inner guidance. She can be about patience. In other words, you know, being careful that the outcome that we create for ourselves is not the only place that we allow ourselves to see, right? That we see the journey as we make progress, right? It can be about about secrets, and I sort of vibe a little bit of the secret thing. And what I mean by that is, if you've ever heard the term, like, it looks good on paper, right? I feel like on paper, this is what I want. This is my goals. This is where I'm headed. This is what I'm doing. Like, I have a list. That's what it says. And on paper, it looks fantastic. But in real life, there's something missing. So the challenge that you have is the magician. So, the magician is about, like we just had for Pierrette, right? It's about using the resources that you have at your own disposal. Sometimes it's about pulling a rabbit out of a hat, let's be honest. And sometimes it is about the ability to manifest your wishes coming true. I feel like it's a bit of two things. I feel like it's a bit of a pulling a rabbit out of a hat, and I feel like it's a bit of using the resources that you have at your disposal. You have everything that you need to make your dreams come true, right? It's your destiny. You're in charge of it. But you have to put in the work. And I'm not saying that you're not putting in the work. I'm not saying that. But you can't just say, okay, this is what's going to happen, and now I'm going to take a back seat and I'm just going to let it unfold. Sometimes you have to give it a little nudge and a little push and a little hey, now hold on a minute. What are you doing over here? You're supposed to be over here. You know what I mean? So you have to stay focused, and you have to stay what's the word that I'm looking for? You have to stay focused when you're on that path. We'll just go with that. The outcome card is the Queen of Wands. This is such a lovely energy, right? You're sitting on your throne. Everything is going exactly the way that you wanted to go, and you are loving life. I mean, look at her smile. It's gorgeous. She is just living her very best and highest life. So, remember that you are in control of what happens to you. You can do whatever is necessary. Eight of Wands is on the bottom of the deck. Information coming in. Interesting, because I pulled this card from the Archangel Michael Sword of Light Oracle. It says, be a light to others. The message reads, you have a powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so that others can learn from you. If they're meant to be, yeah, absolutely they will. What do you think, Thomas, about what Pooch just wrote in the chat?
Yeah. Yeah, give it your all, but keep some energy left for you.
Yeah. I feel like you are supposed to, as much as you're supposed to be teaching others through ooh, wow, look at what she did, you're also teaching yourself at the same time to believe in yourself. And I feel like we know each other well enough, because you've been here with me enough times that I can say this. It's like you're constantly second guessing yourself. You're constantly sort of stunting your maximum growth potential, because you're constantly saying, do I deserve this? Am I good enough? Is this really supposed to be blah, 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 whatever, right? at some point you have to give it up to the universe. You have to say, I have done absolutely everything I can, and I give it up to the universe to guide me in the direction that I'm meant to be in. And that's lovely. This Magician card here, that's what this is about. This is you being in charge of your life, but still giving the universe control over how you're going to get there, right? It doesn't mean that you just say, I want, that red dress, and suddenly the red dress shows up in your closet. We all know it doesn't work like that, right? I hope that makes sense, what I'm trying to say. I believe that there is free will, and I believe that there is also destiny. And so when I say, leave it up to the universe, if you feel completely confident that you have done absolutely everything that you can do to propel yourself to your furthest growth potential at that particular moment in time, which is the key point, right? That particular moment in time, because it changes, it ebbs and flows like life does, right? Then that's all you can do. And you got to be okay with that. And then you check in with yourself in a month or in a couple of months and say, okay, how do I feel now? How do I feel about this situation now? Is there something I could do to tweak that up? I will keep manifesting. So in other words, keep trying. Don't give up trying, but don't get lost in the outcome, because how do you know? It's like if you're 14 years old and you choose the job that you think that you want to have for the rest of your life. How do you know? How do you know at 14? How do you know at 58? You don't. You are basing your knowledge on a particular set of facts that you have in front of you, right, at that moment in time. But you have to be willing to go with the ebbs and flows. That's kind of where I'm going with that.
What I'm getting is, Pooja, don't be surprised at yourself and your abilities of manifestation with that magician. You being the magician, you can amaze the crowd, but I think it's more important to amaze yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why that card came out, right? Be a light to others. Like, the best way to be an inspiration to others is to show them through joy of experience, right? You know how you watch people on TV or you meet people at the office or in the store or whatever, and they're just really happy and they've got like a contagious smile or a contagious laugh, and you sort of latch on to that and think, wow, that's cool. I want to be like that. I need to bring more of that to me. Do you know what I mean? All right. Jan's Free is next. Thank you, Pooja, for asking the question. We appreciate you being here. I wish you many blessings, my dear.
Jan's Free, I guess we're just going to have to go with that. A general. Peanut butter off my thumb.
Is that the trick to making the card stick to your finger? Yeah. Is to eat peanut butter? I love it.
Yeah, so they don't slide all the way across the desk. Don't have to phase them as far.
Hey, I've got a few new decks that are quite slippery, so I'm like, note to self, peanut butter.
Okay, we start out with the Page of Pentacles. So he's holding it high up, and you're offering a it's like a prayer of offering. It's not the benediction at the end of the service. It's the invocation, I guess. So you're invoking the manifestation of uh, abundance for your congregation, and then we have our Three of Pentacles card. So usually this is the young couple taking their house plans to the architect for the architect to build their domicile, their home, um, their retreat from chaotic life, and build their abundance together. And then everything comes out really good for you because you end up with the Queen of Wands. I think I've had all the queens so far. So the Queen of Wands, she's one of my favorite queens because she's got her black cat there, and she's got the sunflower. And so the sunflower is always looking for the sun. It tracks the sun all day long. It starts in the morning with its head bowed, and when the sun comes up, raises its head and watches the sun proceed across the sky all day long until it's time to rest again and bow its head in appreciation for the beautiful day that it's had. So I think if you see the seeds of hope and you work on your surroundings, I think that your outcome is assured to be a sunny one. And keep looking for the positive things in life. If you keep pointing out the not so positive things, then those thoughts take over. And we want to keep on the positive side.
Do you see me pointing, Hershey? Whoops, right there. He's hiding in the bookcase. He's over there. You can't tell because he's literally in a navy blue dark bookcase, so you can't see him. It's so funny what you just said, Thomas, because I've literally got flowers on my card. Or one of my cards, two of my cards actually. And so when you said that, I was like, yup. Anyway, I start out Jan's Free with the Seven of Swords. Now, this is a card of deceit and betrayal. But it doesn't have to be in a nasty way. Sometimes it is a perception, right? Where your spidey senses are going, like something doesn't feel right. Something's not jiving. Sometimes it's a feeling of being slightly paranoid. Now, we can be paranoid through our own making, or we can be paranoid because there is a situation or an environment that we are a part of, like a toxic work environment, for example, where you have seen that situation play out for other people that then puts you on the sort of cautious feeling. Do you know what I mean? So when I say paranoid, that's what I mean, right? That energy is coming in from the past. Next to that, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. And, this is a time for investment. This is a time for assessment, right? So, literally you planted the seeds like Thomas was saying, right? You've talked to it, you've fertilized it, you have, gone out there and rubbed the leaves and dusted them and watered it and you've talked to it and you've sang to it and pleaded with it. And now literally you're waiting to see what happens. You're waiting to see whether your crop is going to flourish or whether you're going to get any flowers at all or what's going to happen. And it's hard for us as human beings to navigate that. Hello?
That's me for the after show.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to remove that then?
Yeah, just put me
in the background.
Okay, there you go. All right, so next to that, we have the renewal card in this deck is what it's called. It is the Judgment card. So this is in the challenge position, and this is your opportunity to find a new perspective, find a new way to look at things. So, whatever was bothering you, whatever was blocking you, whatever was stopping you, whatever was making you feel slightly defeated and kind of like, oh God, why can't I make this work? We need to shift that. We need to shift that way of thinking. And if we can shift that thinking, if we can find a new perspective, then we have the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. Wonderful. On the bottom of the deck, the Four of Wands, the happy home, blessings, joy, and of course the yellow flowers, like Thomas was mentioning, right? By the way, yellow sunflowers are the symbol for friendship. So there's that. I pulled a chakra card for you, and this is from the solar plexus chakra. The card is pleasure. And up at the top, it says enjoyment, beauty, sensuality, and indulgence. So I want to say to you, Jans Free, to really put yourself first. Carve out some time once a week for yourself where you just do whatever brings you joy, right? A time where you can rejuvenate and sort of recharge your battery. Give yourself a bubble bath, dance around the living room, just things that speak to you and put you in a really like Zen kind of calm kind of mood. And I think that will help you to reach this new perspective. So that's what I got for you. I hope that makes sense. I hope it resonates. I thank you for asking the question. Hi, Bims. Hi, Pisces Greeter. How are you, Teresa? All right, we have Ellen R. and then Jessica Lynn. Look at us. Look at the timing. We're so good. Kelly and Thomas, look at us. All right. Ellen R. says, could I have a reading, please? Well, of course you can, Ellen, since you asked so nice. Just kidding.
Ellen, we start out with our
Cute.
Three of Cups, our celebration, collaboration, cooperation card. So once you have that collaboration and cooperation, you find out that it is beneficial to all, and you hold that in celebration. So I think that you needed that because we had our Five of Cups just earlier, and our Five of Cups is usually supposed to be loss or regret, but I think you're looking at the spilled milk of the cups, but you're remembering that behind you that there are two intact cups, but you really wanted to keep it all together, but you just couldn't manage it. You couldn't carry all five at the same time. And then your outcome card is your Page of Wands. So he's the grounded page. He's steadfast, and he's not quite as chivalrous as our knight is, but you can see the full potential in this page, that he's going to move up in ranks and be well grounded and be a great little soldier, and he's going to be a smooth talker. He's going to be eloquent and state the facts and just lay it out there the way it needs to be laid out, and let you make your choices. And then if you pick the right choice, then all goes well for you. If you pick the wrong choice, then you'll have a life like mine, a little bit of torment, a little bit of catastrophe, a little bit of happiness, a little bit of sadness, a lot of joy, and a lot of miles. But that's when you have a lot of miles put on you. You've had a good trip and you've got to see a lot of things along the way. That's what I have for you, Ellen.
Awesome. I start out with the Three of Pentacles, Ellen. Collaboration, working with others, making plans, cooperation, all of that good stuff. We've got the Nine of Swords coming out here. You know, the bumps in the nights, anxiety, keeping you awake. So I'm not sure if work is an issue for you in terms of like a situation being very, very stressful. Now, this is an interesting card to come out in the challenge position. We've got the Six of Swords. So normally the Six of Swords is, you know, it's about moving away from something that was, you know, hard to manage to something that's a little easier to manage, right? You're moving away from like choppy waters to a calmer sort of shore. And it's in the challenge position. Well, I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. What's the challenge? I feel like the challenge is believing that that is even a possibility. You know, that, and when I say that, I don't mean that to sound, you know, derogatory in any way, like that you're trying not to do that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what I'm vibing. What I'm vibing is that if we can adopt the idea that, well, you know, this isn't great. Let's be honest. Let's just say it for what it is. It's not great, but it's got to get better. I mean, it just has to. If we can adopt that sort of idea, right, that sort of concept, then we start that wheel in motion of making that not a challenge anymore. Now it's an actual possibility. Now it's an actual real thing that you can manifest. You can't feel bad or badly about circumstances unless you hold on to those circumstances and keep that negativity sort of flowing through you, right? If you stop that, then the alternative is that you're going to be more positive about it. And now I realize that sounds way easier said than it is done. I totally get that. I can only tell you what the cards say. Okay, that makes sense because the next card that I've got for you, Ellen, is the Chariot. So things moving quickly. You know, this is about travel. It's also about success. So Ellen's just written their challenge. I think I know what it is. I might leave my current job and move if I can get a job in a new place or work remotely. So that's happening. I'm going out on a limb and saying that's happening. You've got the Two of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So making plans, things coming together in that sort of area. I pulled an oracle card for you, and we have Artemis and Brave Spirit. So, which to me ties in quite nicely to the Six of Swords, right? And the reason that I say that is there has to be a bit of believing or faith on your end that if this is what I want, then I will make this happen. Rather than if this is what I want, or if this is what is supposed to happen, then it will be. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's more like an attitude. If you adopt that attitude, that you will be able to sort of get through that in a way that feels much more comfortable. Because right now, I have to be honest, it feels forced. It's like you're forcing yourself to believe that this is yay, but you don't feel it. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm explaining that right or not, but that's what I'm feeling. So, you think it's very on point? Okay, good. Listen, as long as you understand it, that's all that matters to me. But that's what I'm vibing. So, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that the job thing works out to the way that you want it to work out for you. We wish you many blessings, and thank you kindly for asking the question. All right, Miss Jessica Lynn is up next, last, whatever, however. I need a sip.
Jessica Lynn, we start out with the Ace of Pentacles. So, our beginning journey on our abundance and our things around us. And it doesn't look like you're going to have any worries because we have the Five of Pentacles reversed. So, when a lot of people start worrying about things financially, you don't. You've mastered the basics of finance and knowing how the system works. You grease my palms, I'll grease yours, and we'll work together for benefits. And your outcome is your High Priestess card. So you've got the world working with you, although it's hiding its methods of working with you. It makes sure that everything works out for you on a timely basis. So, I don't think that you've got any financial or home issues going on, but we didn't address any matters of the heart or the mind, or the spirit here. So, a quarter of most people's misery are light up with money and finances and things that can take care of them. So that's the least of your worries now. So don't worry about any abundance issues in your life, Jessica. Kelly's got a lot of cards to shuffle over there.
No, I just was looking at something. Jessica says resonates with me, Thomas. Yes, my financial situation has improved. Yay.
Yeah, we don't need to be overly abundant, just comfortable.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I don't know why. What I was looking at was I only pulled 3 tarot cards, and I don't know why I stopped at 3, but whatever. That's what I did. I think these are lovely cards for you, Jessica. I've got the Empress here. I'm going to show you the cards, and then I'm going to tell you what I think. Okay. Then I've got the 3 of Pentacles. I have the Knight of Pentacles. And on the bottom of the deck, I have the Emperor. So I'm not sure if you have a partner and this is home, or if this is like more work. Could even be like family. It feels relationship to me. And I kind of feel like I kind of feel like two people working together, as implied by the Three of Pentacles, to just really like buckle down and get stuff done. Whatever that stuff is that you're trying to achieve, you're getting it done. Not much is standing in your way. Not much is sort of throwing a roadblock in front of you. And if there is a roadblock or some sort of obstacle, you seem to work together to be able to get through it. What I think is interesting, so check this out. So we've got the Empress. Just look at that image. And then I pulled this card. So we have the front view and the side view. She's holding a globe in front of her tummy, and she's got the globe in her tummy. Isn't that interesting? So this card is protection. The second card that I pulled is from Seraphina, or Seraphisia. Honestly, friends, I mean, if we could just have like a Bob or a Sally, I would be thrilled. It says, relax and open up to source and keep your heart open. So I see that you have written, I'm currently single. It would be nice to have a partner. There is always many ways to interpret this, but I still go with what I say. There is, so if this doesn't represent a person in your life, then this is an energy that you are putting out where you are taking control of the situation. You are taking control of your circumstances, your situation, your environment, your whatever. Like, you are in control and you know it. This is about structure. It's about organization. It's about leadership, right? But I want to tell you, Jessica, that right below that Emperor card, King of Cups, be on the lookout for a water sign, girlfriend. I'm telling you, be on the lookout for a water sign. Because I think that keep your heart open and that cooperation, somebody may be headed right towards you in the not too distant future. What do you think, Thomas, about that?
Well, with those two worlds, it's definitely a world of possibilities there.
Absolutely.
And
manifest, 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 manifest. Manifest.
It looks like you're the girl of this person's dreams, Jessica.
Right? All right. We did it. 1 hour and 8 minutes. That's not too bad. Thank you, Jessica, for being here, for asking the question. Thank everybody for being here and asking their questions. Thank you for trusting us to read for you. We appreciate you. Thomas, where are you going to be so people can find you?
I will be on with Marina tomorrow afternoon.
Very nice.
And then I'll be on with Hershey sometime Wednesday. And then I will be out of pocket for the cruise come the weekend.
Yay, Thomas is going on a cruise.
I just went camping, so I got some more tan on me, so I shouldn't burn up.
There we go. Well, we wish you the best of a vacation, well-deserved, and hopefully you enjoy yourself. Friends, I will be back on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern to do some What's Ahead in Fall readings, and then Thursday during the day, 2 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on with Nancy Jean, Nancy Jean's Garden, doing some past life readings. So make sure that you stay tuned to the community tab so you know when to go over to Nancy Jean's page and put your question in. I will let you know through the community tab, okay? And from us to you, we say thank you, and we wish you many blessings. Mwah!
Goodbye, folks.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.